Hello, ma'am. Let's start the class, ma'am.
हेलो हेलो
हेलो
मैडम अच्छी ना किए जॉइन कर रश्मि रेखा सर
मैम एडमिट अछंती सर लेकिन क्लास नहीं चल रहा।
मैडम अच्छी जॉइन कर ना
यस मैम। मैडम
Oh, okay,
क्लास
okay. Oh,
जॉइन करिछन।
oh. Sorry, sorry.
आपनो क्लास
My audio has been muted. I have unmuted
अच्छा
ओके
right now.
ठीक है
ओके
Okay,
मैम।
okay.
स्टार्ट करें
Am I audible right now?
यस
यस
मैम
मैम इट्स
Yes,
ऑडिबल।
actually, my audio has been muted, and I have no idea about this. Okay, okay, let's start. Uh, I have already taught the central problems of economics, but unfortunately, the audio has been muted. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, okay, let's start. The central problem of economics. We will discuss the central problem of economics. Okay, do you have any idea about economics? You both, do you
We
have
have
any idea?
read something about in
You
our
have already
11th
read
and 12th
something.
standard, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
let's tell me something about economics. Whatever you know, please tell me what is economics. Okay, let's understand. Uh, Economics means we know we have unlimited wants. Okay, we have unlimited wants and desire, but the resources are available with us is very limited. Okay, so we have to manage our wants and we have to manage our desire according to the resources available with us. So the basic objective of economics is what? Is to is the rational management of the scarce resources, and it is concerned with how the limited resources are rationally managed and optimally allocated for the alternative uses so that an individual can maximize his satisfaction as a consumer and at the same time the producer can maximize his profit. Okay, it is the duty of the producer to produce varieties of items, varieties of products, and the consumer purchase those particular products from the market. Okay, so the basic objective of economics is that the producer, how the producer can maximize his profits by using the resources available with him to the great extent. Okay, and the and the customers can satisfy their wants and maximize the benefit from that particular product. So we have so many resources, the resources which are already given us by the nature, and the resources which are also man-made. Okay, like if we discuss the land, water, and other resources like iron, gold. Okay, there are resources which are limited. We have to use them very rationally, and the resources also, they have various alternative uses. Like if we discuss about petroleum have very like it is used in automobiles. At the same time, it is used by various industries for production. So as the resources have various alternative uses and the resources are very limited to us, so it is the basic objective of economics is to manage them rationally. Okay. So what are the basic problems of economics? What are mainly the problem let's discuss. There is one economist known as Milton Friedman. Okay. So he told that economics is the science of how a particular society solves its economic problems. Like Robbins, Friedman also thinks that an economic problem exists wherever scarce means are used to satisfy alternative ends. Okay, so the origin of economic problem is scarcity of resources. Scarcity of resources means the resources are very scarce according to our needs. So there are limited resources. If we will use the resources completely, then nothing will be left for our next generation. So we have to use the resources very wisely. Okay, so what are the basic problems? So Friedman claims that his concept of an economic problem is a very general one. Firstly, it applies to all the problems wherever the problem of allocation of scarce resources is faced. May it be the allocation of time between leisure and work of building the best engine with given resources. So he mainly distinguishes the features of Friedman's concept. What are the basic economic problems? He describes it as it is a social science. So as a social science, according to Friedman definition, economics is a social science because it is mainly concerned with those economic problems whose solution involves the cooperation and interaction in different individuals. And it is concerned with the economic problems particular to individuals. It supplies the problems of individuals only in so far as they have social effects. Okay. So there are also, the economics is also known as applied science. It is a compromising definition, and the economics also distinguishes between positive and normative economics. Okay, the purposes of economics is mainly it has to fixing the standards, organizing the production, distributing the product, then providing for economic maintenance and progress, adjusting consumption to production over short periods, etc. And the economist has the basic objectives. It has to determine what to produce, how to produce, at what time it has to produce, etc. So these are the various fundamental basic problems in economics. But if we discuss it shortly, then the main objective should be the rational management of scarce resources, because it is concerned with how limited resources can be rationally managed. We know the resources are very limited according to the human ones, and the human ones are unlimited. So it is obvious that the resources are scarce in relation to the demand, and it is impossible to satisfy all human wants. So the scarcity of resources is a hard fact of life, and it is an unavoidable problem. It can be managed, but it can never be solved. Okay, we can manage it for a short period of time, but we cannot solve it. Okay, if the for example, if the petroleum will be finished, then we can solve that problem. Suppose we can adopt some alternative methods like now, like recently some electric cars are invented. Okay, we can use the electric cars in the place of petroleum or diesel engines. Okay, so we can solve it, but we cannot never replace the problem. So scarcity is a problem not simply because resources are scarce in relation to human ones, but because of resources have alternative uses. If the land it can be used for production of rice, at the same time it can also be used for construction of buildings. But we have to choose one option. Either we have to construct a building on the land, or we have to cultivate that land. So there is we have to choose one opportunity cost. So there are so many problems by applying this the economics theories, and by applying the economics in our day-to-day life, we can solve various fundamental problems of economics. Okay, then we will come to the next important point, next important block too, that is very important from the examination point of view, that is consumer behavior. Okay, so what is consumer behavior, or what is consumer demand? Who can tell me what is consumer demand? Consumer demand is nothing. Okay, consumer demand is only the willingness to buy a product. At the same time, also the ability to pay for it. Okay, if the willingness to buy a product, at the same time you have the ability to pay that particular price for that particular product also. Okay, for example, if you wish to purchase a star, is it possible? It is not possible, because you cannot purchase a star. You don't have that much money, and it is impossible to purchase a star, or it is impossible to purchase the sun. So consumer demand means you have willingness to buy that product, and at the same time you have the ability to purchase that product. You have the ability to acquire that product. It may be a product, it may be a service. Okay, so based on the desire, and at the same time they must have also the ability to purchase that particular product. It is the willingness and the ability of the consumer to purchase a particular quantity of goods or services in a given period of time, or at a given point of time, whatever may be. So the demand constitutes the willingness to buy a particular product, which must be supported by an ability to pay. If you wish to purchase a mobile phone and that costs rupees 20,000, and you have the ability to pay that particular amount, then it will be called as consumer demand. So consumer demand is a very important and very much essential for the development as well as for the survival of an economy. If there is no consumer demand, then the products cannot be sold. The products of different companies cannot be sold, because without demand there would be no sales revenue. If no revenue will come, the government cannot function. Okay, so the consumer demand is very necessary for the economy of a country. And the greater will be the consumer demand, the greater will be the incentive for the entrepreneurs. Okay, if your demand will be larger, suppose if we go before 15 or 20 years, there is no demand for any Android mobile phone. By the updation of the technology, nowadays there is a huge demand for Android phone. So it is an opportunity for the entrepreneurs to establish new industries and to produce Android mobile phones. Okay, so according to the consumer demand, there will be much more scope for new entrepreneurs to start various new business, new ventures like this. Okay, and you can see, you can know about startup business. Startup business, how it has come according to the consumer demand. What the consumer will want, then accordingly the entrepreneurs develop their products. If we take the examples of like Swiggy, Zomato, okay, and Ola, etc., these are the result of consumer demand. Okay, the consumer, according to the consumer demand, the entrepreneurs, it will motivate the entrepreneurs to develop new technologies and to start new entrepreneurs, new enterprises. Okay. So this is basically the consumer demand. If the consumer demand will increase, then the incentives, the revenue of an economy will automatically increase to enter a market, and there will also be a higher probability that the market will form. Okay. Then the next point in consumer behavior is elasticity of demand. Do you have any idea about elasticity of demand? It is a very basic concept of economics. Can you remember? Okay. So what is elasticity of demand?
Yes, ma'am. I have some idea, ma'am.
Yes, tell.
Ma'am, change
Yes,
of
tell what is elasticity of demand?
change of demand due to change in price of a product, or we can
Yes,
say
you are right.
deviation
It's
in
very
demand.
simple.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, right. Good. So elasticity of demand is nothing. It means the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity at the same time in responsiveness to the percentage change in the price. Right? If the price will increase, then the demand will automatically fall. In some cases, if the price will decrease, the demand will automatically increase. So always there is a relationship between the price and the demand. And if we measure that relation and if we measure that effect, that is known as the elasticity of demand. It means the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of a percentage change in any quantitative determinants. That may be the price, or that may be any other factors, like if there is some supplementary, there is some complementary goods and some substitute goods. Okay, substitute goods means there are, suppose, product X and product Y. Their substitute means you can replace one product by another. It means if we take the example of tea and coffee. Okay, these are known as substitute. Suppose we can manage with tea than coffee sometimes, and complementary goods, they are related to without one product one cannot be completed. By the help of one product you can complete one another product. Okay, so there are so many determinants. Basically, it may be the price, it may be the type of commodity, whatever the commodity is, substitute goods or complementary goods, or it may be some other products. Okay, then normally the elasticity of demand is 3 types. Okay, that is price. The first one is the price elasticity of demand, then the cross elasticity of demand, and the income elasticity of demand. So elasticity of demand, we know it is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of the percentage change in any of the quantitative determinants. That may be the price, that may be the income of a consumer, or that may be the product or the goods. That is cross elasticity demand, that may be in case of a substitute goods or complementary goods. So first we will come to the price elasticity of demand. Yes. So price elasticity, normally the price elasticity of demand is very popular because there is a direct inverse relationship between the price and demand. We know this. So the price elasticity of demand is what? It is the percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of percentage change in price. It means there is a relationship between the demand and the price. If there is some changes in the demand, if there is some changes in the price, then there must be a changes in the demand. For example, if the price will increase, the demand will decrease, or if the price will decrease, then the demand will increase. So there are so many measurement of price elasticity of demand. We know that is a perfectly inelastic demand, then perfectly elastic demand, highly elastic and highly inelastic demand, unitary elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, the measurement of elasticity demand. So when when the elasticity of demand will be zero, okay, that is known as perfectly inelastic demand. It means whether the change in the price, whether the price of a particular product is increase or decrease, there is no impact on the quantity demanded. For example, if you take the example of salt or matches, okay, if the price will increase or decrease, there will be not any significant impact on the quantity demanded, because salt is like that the consumer cannot increase its demand because it cannot be used more than once requirement. So in that case, elasticity of demand will be zero, and that is known as perfectly inelastic of demand. Okay, in that case, the demand curve will be vertical. Then we will come to the inelastic. We will come to the perfectly elastic demand. Okay. So when we will tell that is perfectly elastic demand, if the elasticity of demand will be infinitive. Okay. In that case, it is known as perfectly elastic demand. It means any increase in the price will cause. It means that any increase in the price will cause a higher demand of the product. Okay. Then we will come to the unitary elasticity of demand, that is 1. When the percentage change in quantity demanded is exactly equal to the percentage change in price, then that is known as unitary elasticity of demand. Suppose, for example, 10% fall in price of a commodity leads to 10% rise in demand of that commodity, then in that case it is known as unitary elasticity of demand. It means the percentage by which the price will increase or decrease at the same proportionate the demand will increase or decrease. That is known as unitary elasticity. And there is also highly elastic and highly inelastic of demand. When the demand will be called highly elastic, when the elasticity of demand is greater than 1, in that case, that is known as highly elasticity of demand. It means that there is a high responsiveness to changes in price, and highly inelastic demand is one in which elasticity of demand is less than 1. What is highly inelastic demand? When the demand is less than 1. And when the elasticity of demand is greater than 1, it is known as highly elastic demand. Okay. So then we will come to the income elasticity of demand. First, we have already discussed about the price elasticity of demand, that is the percentage change in price may cause the percentage change in demand. Okay. The price elasticity of demand, the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of a percentage change in its price. So basically, the elasticity of demand, how can we calculate the elasticity of demand? The percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity divided by the percentage change in commodity's own price. Okay. So if we explain it, then we will come to the income elasticity of demand. So what is income elasticity of demand? It is same like price elasticity of demand, but there is price is the determinant and here is income is the determinant. Income elasticity of demand is what? Income elasticity of demand is the percentage change in quantity demanded as a result of percentage change in income of the consumer. It depends on the income of the consumer. If the income of the consumer will increase, then the demand may increase. If the income of the consumer will decrease, then the demand may decrease. So it can be calculated by percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity by percentage change in income of a commodity, income of a consumer. Okay. So if we explain it symbolically, then it is known as EY is equal to Y by Q into delta Q by delta Y. Here delta Q is known as change in quantity demanded and delta Y is known as change in income. Okay. And Q is the initial demand and Y is the initial income. Okay. Then
Ma'am,
we'll, yes,
ma'am, change in demand will be percentage or bus units?
percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in income.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Note down this. EY is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Okay. And just a minute. Look at this. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Look at this. EY is equal to proportionate or percentage change in quantity demanded divided by proportionate or percentage change in income. Okay. Suppose if your income is 5,000, now your income is 5,000, okay, and your demand for a particular product is 5 units, okay. If your income will increase by 10,000 and at the same time your demand will increase by your demand of that particular product will be increased by 10 units. Okay, you have to calculate them by taking the percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in income, and symbolically it will be like that: delta Q by Q into 100 by delta Y by Y into 100 is equal to delta Q by delta Y into Y by Q. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. In your textbook, the explanations will be more thorough. Okay. You can go more thoroughly. And there is some basic problems are there also. Solve them. If any doubt, then ask me in the next class. Okay, then we will come to the cross elasticity of demand. Okay. So what is cross elasticity of demand? I have told you in the first case the price elasticity of demand. There the determinant is price, and in the second case the income elasticity of demand, the determinant is income. So in the above two cases, the demand is changed. Okay, the proportionate change of the demand is changed according to the change in the price or change in the income of the consumer. So these are the basic two determinants of the elasticity of demand. Okay. Except these two determinants, there is one more determinant. I have told you about the substitute goods and complementary goods. Do you have any idea about substitute goods and complementary goods? I have told you. Give me one example of complementary goods.
Complementary goods. What to say? One minute, ma'am.
Diesel and your bike, or petrol and your bike, they both are complementary because you cannot run your bike without petrol, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if there will be a increase in the price of the petrol, okay, so the demand of the bike may be decreased, right? The demand of the bike, it means you will not use your bike frequently if it may not be very much urgent. If I am telling it in a general basis, okay. Before, when the petrol price, suppose the petrol price before 5 months the petrol price was rupees 70 per liter. At that time, the use of motorcycles and bikes will be more higher than this time, because this time the petrol price is increased, that is around 120 115 rupees. Okay, so automatically the use of the automobiles and the use of the bike will be decreased. Clear? So in case of complementary goods, if the price of one product is increased or decreased, there will be a impact the price of the quantity demanded of the other product. Can you relate this?
Ma'am?
Can you relate this, the price of the petrol and the use of a bike, or the product of automobile, like bike and cars?
Yes,
There
ma'am.
will be automatically a fall in the sales of the automobile sector if the price of the petrol or diesel will be increased. Because they are complementary goods. Okay. So like this, the cross elasticity of demand will show us the quantity, the percentage change in quantity demanded as related or in response to the percentage change in the particular product or particular commodity. The particular commodity, they may be substitute goods or they may be complementary goods. Okay. So what is cross elasticity of demand? Then cross elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of a percentage change in the price of another goods. It is known as cross price elasticity of demand. Okay, suppose so in cross elasticity of demand, there will be the price of two products, because in case of complementary goods and substitute goods, there must be two products. Okay, because one product is incomplete without another product. There is no meaning of a bike without petrol, because you cannot run the bike without petrol. There is no meaning of a shoe without a socks. Okay, they are known as complementary goods. One is related to another product. Without one product, you cannot operate or you cannot use another product. And the substitute goods are like you can substitute one product that with another, or you can replace one product by another product. For example, I have already told you the example of tea and coffee. Okay, you can take coffee in the place of tea sometimes. That is called substitute. So there is impact. If the price of the tea will increase, then people prefer to purchase coffee rather than tea. Okay. So the cross elasticity of demand normally indicates us the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity as a result of percentage change in the price of another good. So the cross elasticity of demand can be calculated by the proportionate or percentage change in the quantity demanded of good X Okay, look at this. Is it visible? Look at this. the proportionate or percentage change in quantity demanded of goods X proportionate or divided by the proportionate or percentage change in the price of good Y. Okay. There will be the price of two products. Like the question will the price of two products like tea and coffee. There will be mentioned in the question the price of two different products. Suppose the price of the product tea is X and the price of the product coffee is Y. You have to compare among them. Then you will come to the change in quantity demanded of goods X by original quantity demanded of X into 100 divided by change in price of Y by original price of Y, because we have to calculate the percentage change in quantity demanded. So we have to first calculate the change in quantity demanded divided by quantity demanded of X divided by the original quantity demanded of X. By this we can calculate the percentage change in quantity demanded of good X. Okay. So here look at this. Delta Qx by Qx into 100 divided by delta Py by Py into 100. So delta Qx by Qx into delta Py by Py. So elasticity of demand of product X into X. Have you any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, students, have you any doubt?
No, ma'am. Ma'am,
Do you
can we
have
get
any?
notes
Do
of
you
this
have
topic?
any economics? Do you have any economics books? This is a basic principle of microeconomics books.
Microeconomics. No, ma'am, we don't
Okay, you
have.
can follow the materials. There are so many materials in internet. Okay, you can search it in Google and do some basic problems related to cross elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and price elasticity of demand. Then you can be very clear. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. What you are asking something, right?
Yes, ma'am. Can we get
Yes,
notes
tell.
of this topic, ma'am?
Okay. I will provide you the the notes. Okay. After completing the entire chapter, I will provide you the loan.
Okay, ma'am.
The note. Okay. Note down my mail ID. I will mail you. But the IGNO material is best. Okay. In IGNO material, the topics are very simple and you can understand them very easily than the textbooks. So I will advise you to prefer IGNO material, but still I will provide you the material. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubt? Okay. Do you know the relationship between demand and supply? And do you have any idea about law of demand?
Ma'am, we have gone through these topics in our 12th standard, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. We will read
For
the next
me, I
chapter,
have
law of demand.
some idea.
Uh, can you remember the marginal utility, diminishing marginal utility? We will discuss this in the next class, but I'm just asking you because go through them. It will be more easier to understand. In the next class, we will study the law of diminishing marginal utility, equimarginal utility, and application of demand and supply, and also the production function. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet you in the next class, Indian economy.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.